Welcome to Football Talks Saturday morning, and we're gonna talk about football this weekend. We'll cover Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, even Bundesliga and League One. So let's start. सुरु गर्नुपर्दा let's talk about Premier League match day 1. सकिसकेको छ. Premier League has finally begun. Let's kick off पनि भइसक्यो. We go through, I think most of the teams ले चाहिँ आफ्नो first game खेलिसक्यो. Even last night Chelsea and West Ham also played their second match respectively, and there are much thing and a lot of things to talk about. Firstly, we're gonna talk about the match Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Liverpool ko debut match, Bournemouth ko पनि debut match. We're gonna talk about Liverpool was signing भनौँ न इकिटिकै साइन गरिसकेको थियो. They were strengthening their strength develop गरिरहेको थियो, right? किन प्लेयरहरू सबै साइन गरे तिनीहरूको उसहरू हैन. And we saw a great game by Ikitiki. Ikitikiको great game थियो बोर्नमथको म्याचमा हैन. Ikitiki चाहिँ just proved he also scored a goal. And त्यसपछि I think the Bournemouth वाला game was not satisfied because Arne Slot, the manager of Liverpool हैन, after the match he was not satisfied that much because उहाँले चाहिँ सेप अप गर्न अझै जेल अप गर्न चाहिँ लिभरपुलको म्याचमा चाहिँ निडेड छ जस्तो लाग्यो. The match was 4-2, like Liverpool scored 4 goals. Although that game was pretty decent for me हैन, गेम चाहिँ धेरै डिसेन्ट लागिरहेको थियो मलाई. त्यस्तो खतरा चाहिँ फिल भएन. बिस्तारै जेल अप हुँदैछ टिमहरु हैन. एकिटिकीको इनरोलमेन्ट छ, there was a bit chemistry, and Cody Gakpo, he had also gained him, and Mohamed Salah 90 plus 4 minute he just scored the goal हैन. त्यसपछि चाहिँ he proved why he is the Premier League king. I admire him, but I believe that Premier League को उसको पनि लास्ट सिजन हुन्छ त. Let's also give some credit to Sichia. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name हैन. उ चाहिँ सब्स्टिट्युट आएर प्रुभ गर्यो कि लाइक वाइ ही वाज साइन लास्ट इयर, अनि उसको एकदम अन्डररेटेड गेम थियो. मेबी ही विल डु अझै पनि बेटर हैन. लाइक त्यसको गेम नि मलाई एकदम म्यासिभ मन पर्यो. नेक्स्ट मुभ टु नेक्स्ट म्याच, द्याट्स म्यान सिटी भर्सेस वुल्व्स. इट वाज 4-0. म्यान सिटी डोमिनेटेड द गेम, लाइक 4-0 भइरहेको थियो. लाइक म्यान सिटी क्यान बी अ टिम अहिले प्रिमियर लिगको टाइममा हैन. लाइक they are not considered as a Premier League winner. Maybe it should be Arsenal, or maybe they are considering about Liverpool. But City and Pep Guardiola are evolving. I don't know, I see a very much different game. They're more direct. I see them more direct. And positional play they were alikati calm comparatively. Haaland also scored a goal. And I want to mention two players that really impressed me. It's about, I'm sorry फेरि मलाई यसको नाम पनि अहिले आउँदैन हैन. टिजिएन रेन्जर्स. What a beautiful game, what a beautiful bowler, assists and goal and everything. And second player I want to mention is Sorky, Ryan Sorky. Remember the name. यो सिजन त्यसको ब्रेक थ्रू सिजन हुन सक्छ because what a game he played. I can't explain how. I think there are a lot of players हैन. Man City को always there is a problem of defensive हैन, डिफेन्समा प्रब्लम थियो हैन. And Edison was not playing the game. Maybe he out to be moved हैन. एउटा नयाँ प्लेयर, I'm sorry I'm just forgot his name हैन. त्यसको नाम चाहिँ बिर्सेँ मैले. नयाँ किपरहरु चाहिँ ओर्तेगा पनि थिएन, एडिसन पनि थिएन, नयाँ प्लेयर राखेको थियो. He was a decent game हैन. गेम चाहिँ डिसेन्ट चलिरहेको थियो. But I see Manchester City जेलिङ अप because लास्ट इयर जस्तो डिफेन्सिभ फल्ट नहुन सक्छ. रोद्री पनि आएको थिएन. मेनी प्लेयर्स अलिकति अझ जेल अप गर्दैछन्, आउँदैछन्. सम प्लेयर्स आर इन्जरी, बट there I see a chemistry, and old players जस्तै केभिन डिब्रुने लिभ भइसकेपछि there is a gap, and त्यो ग्यापमा चाहिँ जेल अप गरेर नयाँ प्लेयर्सहरू अनि त्यसपछि गएर I see Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob is the player that also look out हैन. अनि there's a lot of players that are signing youngster, अनि धेरै प्लेयरहरू चाहिँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ I see spark on player हैन के हुन्छ. but it was just a first game, too early to judge them. We need to watch a couple of games to judge them, right? So next game was underrated Sunderland versus West Ham. West Ham going to lose their game. Sunderland just come and just scored 3 goals and just won the game. Sunderland is not the team that you think will relegate it. What a beautiful game. Like two team you don't feel like two teams are relegate huncha bhane. They are coming from the low division relegation team bata mathi ayo bhanta, like they come new for this season, and I think they were staying up and they won't be relegated. That's my prediction. Let's move to next game, that's Spurs versus Burnley, and Spurs just won the game 3-0. And Thomas Frank is cooking something. Sports is the team that may come. I generally believe that they will मजाले चाहिँ टप 10 भित्र मजाले आउँछ. I believe also see they could be in top 6 because the game was brilliant and dominates एकदम खतरा थियो. अनि Sports also played against PSG, right? PSG को गेममा पनि they also dominated and Sports deserved to win, but last मा चाहिँ PSG just showed why they are PSG and why they are the Champions League winners. But I generally believe that Sports has this spark and could surprise everyone who was not assuming that Sports is not a real threat. And that next game was Brighton versus Fulham, 1-1 draw. I didn't watch the match, it was decent, I believe so. Next game I want to talk about Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace last year was amazing, and I want to talk about Chelsea. The game was so boring, no directness, nothingness. They're just like playing ping pong. So boring game to talk about. But let's talk about Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. Just nothing from Nottingham Forest won 3-1. It's just a City game, and I want to talk about another game, that is Manchester United versus Arsenal. I want to salute to Manchester United team. What a game they played. I didn't expect anything from that. Manchester United has finally come back because they showed how good they could be. Bumubu, Benjamin Sesko on. Although Benjamin Sesko didn't start, and Mason Mount was placed as striker, and I believe they have just let go. Ruben Abraham has let go Haaland. If I am pronouncing the name correct, Haaland, and I see Manchester United coming to top 6 for sure. Top 6 for sure because the game was so brilliant. They just need clinical finishes. They just ate the defense of Arsenal. Every ball was going to the final third, but they lacked in clinical things. Like they need a good striking ability for the forwards. Otherwise, the game was superb, and Manchester United showed that why they was Manchester United at that night. But Arsenal just won the game by 1 goal. Like I believe the game was for Manchester United, and Arsenal got lucky. And I believe Manchester United will show up in multiple games if they played like this. So let's talk about another game, that's Leeds United versus Everton. 1-0. Leeds United will win the game. I don't know why. I think Everton will be tricky this season. And I want to talk about match 2 that was last night, West Ham versus Chelsea, and Chelsea scored 5 goals and West Ham just defended with 1 goal, and Chelsea like outclasses West Ham that night. I believe West Ham is not the team that I see in top 10. I believe they are only 14-15 because I don't see that team doing well because they lost first 2 matches of this Premier League. Too early to judge, but I don't see that game more going towards themselves. And I think Chelsea, talking about Chelsea is a decent game. They just draw the first game and won the second. But Chelsea, Cole Palmer was not playing the game, but João Pedro, very good game. Cause I am like Kai said, what a good game. Enzo Fernandez, everyone is doing gelling up. Chemistry was done. Today they were much more clinical. They were just striking to the goal, like multiple goals. I don't know. I don't see Chelsea that much of direct, but there were a lot of direct in this game. And that was Premier League for everyone. Let's move to La Liga. Let's talk about first match, my club Barcelona versus Mallorca. And this game we have ex-Barcelona player Pablo Torre in Mallorca, and the game was pretty chaotic. I don't like that game that much. Although we managed to score 3 goals, about like last minute goal of Lamine Yamal, then we have classes of Ferran Torres, and I see that game not like ours. Like the game was so chaotic. The Ross's only player that was signed and that shows a great game was Lamine Yamal because he was so furious. He was in the final thirds and all, and that 1 assist and 1 goal in the first game, and showed why he deserves and why he believes to be a top player of the league, and he just outclassed everyone. Lewandowski was injured, he was not in this team. Ferran Torres get the start, and I see multiple good games by Petri and even youngsters. They were also swinging up. Pau was decent. That match was decent event, and even Araujo wasn't that much of shaky. I also believe that Araujo was stable. I believe Araujo was stable at that game, and Malaga was doing a lot of dirty play. I would say that chaotic attacking play, and I don't know, they would survive playing that. I don't know, but La Liga, Mallorca kind of teams always play like that chaotic team, and a lot of chaos by the referees. The goal by Ferran Torres, because that it should be stopped or not. That was a controversy. The red card of the Mallorca player, that was also controversy. I believe but that was a red card. It's my opinion, and also the red card of Rafinha, should be given or not. But Barcelona played with 8 players. Two men were down from Mallorca because of this double yellow card and red card situation. But that match was decent. But I'm happy we got the 3 points. I don't want anything more than that. Let's talk about Atletico Madrid Espanyol, and everyone is talking about all Atletico Madrid is signing new players, gelling up. But I didn't see as Atletico Madrid winning this game, because they lost against Espanyol, and that was quite shocking for me. And I don't watch that game, so I don't know that much about. But let's talk about Athletic Club versus Sevilla, and that's Athletic Club won this game 3-2. And this game was just a highlight of Nico Williams and how he showed up why he was one of the best left winger in the league. Let's talk about Real Madrid versus Osasuna. Real Madrid managed to score 1 goal against Osasuna. That was a penalty by Mbappe. I want to highlight something about Real Madrid's game. They were like in a different system, and they are like gelling up, and they are adapting new system. And Xavi has a great task to manage the egos like Mbappe's and Vinicius Junior. And I see less chemistry in that, but they were not that much of clinical. Although they had great balls in them, but they were not that much of critical. I didn't see them that much of critical. And let's talk about the first match of Bundesliga, that was against Bayern Munich versus RB Leipzig, and it was 6-0. Bayern just thrash Leipzig, and we see a hat-trick of Hurricane's hat-trick. And I also see, I just forgot, whatever, all of the players like Michael Olise also showed up. He also scored brace, and Luis Diaz debut goal for in the league debut goal, very impressive. And that was the sum of Serie A has not started. And I also watched the one match, that PSG versus Angers, and PSG won this game 1-0, and that was the sum of League One. There was not much of football, but they were just everyone was cheering up in these matches. And I saw a lot of players signing up, and I see the players like Cherki, Rangers, and another players like I want to highlight is maybe a good gameplay of Luis Diaz as well, and even Lamine Yamal from Barcelona, and even Ferran Torres could have a great season. And all of the players like even Mike Casado,